Alright guys, so I am going to go through my presentation that I do for our visual pun illustration project, explain it, give you some tips, and explain what visually I'm going to expect from you since we have to do this at home using Pixlr. Okay, so let's view, present. Alright, visual pun illustration. Okay, so number one, what's a pun? A pun is a funny word or saying that means something other than what it literally is saying. And we're going to look through a ton of different examples. And puns are super specific to different languages and cultures. A pun in English, if you translate it into Spanish, it could be complete nonsense and not be a pun anymore, and vice versa, right? So it's very language specific, okay? So here's our first example. Number one, we take in what is going on, like what the visuals are. So here we have salt, we have pepper, we have a bulb of garlic, honey, olive oil or maybe vinegar. This is probably basil, some kind of herb. And they're all saying happy holidays, right? We've got a chili pepper. So we think, what category of item is this, right? And then we think, what funny word or saying could this be? Season's greetings, right? All of these are seasons. They're greeting, saying happy holidays. Okay? This is supposed to be funny. Haha. This is supposed to be, tongue in cheek, kind of dad joke level stuff. Okay? Now, what is an idiom? Okay? An idiom is a phrase or an expression that has a figurative or sometimes literal meaning. Right? There are thousands of idioms occurring frequently in all different languages, right? There's a ton. Okay? So an idiom is not just, words like that. It's a whole sentence. So we have Fred kicked the bucket, kicking the bucket. We know that means Fred's dead, right? Once in a blue moon, that's an idiom, okay? And once in a blue moon means it happens very rarely, right? Now, if you translated that into a different language, it's probably not going to make any sense, right? A penny for your thoughts. It's a way of asking what someone is thinking, right? So you can do a pun. You can do an idiom. So here's an idiom right here. We take a look at it. We have a pea pod saying, oops, spill the beans. All right, she dropped her beans. She says, oops. It can be very simple like this, okay? What is a compound word? So your third option for this project is expressing a compound word. A compound word, combination of two or more words that combines to create one word, right? So there are three types of compound words. You've got, it's written as its own word. It has no hyphenation, right? Like flower pot. That's one word, okay? But then the hyphenated ones are merry-go-round, well-being, right? You got that hyphen in there. Okay, and then the third group, called an open compound, it's written as a separate word, like school bus, decision-making, right? That they don't have a hyphen and they're not written together, but they act together to create the one meaning. Okay, so here's an example of a compound word expressed visually on the right. We look at it, it's a fish. Okay, what's different about this fish? It's gold. Oh, it's a goldfish. Okay. How can we create visual puns? Okay, the visual pun you create can be based on an idiom, compound word of your choice. The viewer must be able to tell what the pun is without words. Okay, so anyone looking at this should be able to take in your visuals and understand what your pun is. Okay, you are creating an image that communicates an idea, right? Let's practice trying out some. So on the left we have a cone. What's it doing? It's screaming. I scream cone. Okay, and you can play with words like that. Be careful, just make sure it still makes sense, but you can kind of alter words as well to create your visual. Okay, and we have over here, got a paper. He's holding sharp objects, paper cut. We have eyes. They're eating sandwiches. Hungry eyes. We have a bottle of soda, and he's cooking. But is he just cooking? No, he's baking. Baking soda. Got a piggy bank. When we look closer, it's not coins, it's clocks. Saving time. Over here, We have a cat. It's bleeding. It's being killed by question marks. Curiosity killed the cat. All right, so catfish. Here's another example. What is it? And then how can we represent this visually? So we're thinking a cat, thinking a fish. How can we do this? First way, you could make a catfish, right? You could take a fish and you could make it part cat. Another option, same word. We have a fishing cat, right? So there are a lot of different options even within the same word or idiom that you're using. And here's the whole piece. I think this is adorable. Heard it through the grapevine. What does it mean? How can we represent it? Right, so through the grapevine, it's gossip, right? So she's hearing gossip, or here it has music notes, but she's hearing, right? Show that she's hearing through the grapevine. Okay. Tiger lily, what is it? How can we represent it visually? A tiger lily is just a kind of lily, but it has the word tiger, right? So how can we represent this visually? This is my example that I did in class. Okay, so I put together this collage first. Now, since we're in Pixlr, that's kind of where we're going to end up with our projects. If we were in class with our Photoshop and Illustrator options, you would then render it, right? So I still have collage elements in my final piece, but you see how I digitally painted the tiger lily? So that's our difference here, okay? Other differences, like I'm going to show you some more examples here on our webpage. You know, everything I just said, it's all here, okay? The artist that I showed you most of her pieces, her name is Karen Rosen. You can go to her website here with this word game series that she did. Very simple, right? It's just a gradient in that background and a really simple illustration, okay? If you need help thinking of an idiom or a compound word or whatever it is you're going to use, I have 3 links here. Go ahead, take a look at them. Gives you ideas on what you could do. Now, your assignment, again, you're rendering it on Pixlr. Normally, you would be using all the programs we have at school, but in the end, most likely you guys are going to be just ending up with a collage, or it could be like our Cityscape project, where you were using like different shapes layered up to create your illustration. For example, here is an example I did last year. This one's honeymoon, right? So I did the bee in Illustrator, but the rest, you know, and my drawing of my dripping honeymoon, I did with Illustrator. But notice how, you know, I used photos, right? I used photos, some collage elements. I changed hues and saturations and all those things, right? Now this example here, fully digitally painted by a student, right? Take it with a grain of salt, okay? This one, spilling the tea, you know, it's a phrase, right? So we're spilling the tea, all right? So you can pretty much create this in Pixlr, but it would be in like collage form. And you can, it has like a text function. You can add those things in. This one you could do using Pixlr, like all the shapes all layered up. This one is spoiled milk. The milk's got all the presents, right? Timepieces. She did this in Illustrator, but I feel like you get some of this done using Pixlr. It'd be a little difficult, but imposter, right? I thought this was adorable. Okay, you could probably recreate this in Pixlr, certainly as like a collage, but you may be able to use like some of the brush tools to kind of recreate this. Okay, this one, don't remember what it is because it's in Spanish. I really wish that I had written down what this phrase or idiom is. If any of you speak Spanish and you know what this one is, let me know. Simply spilling the soup, but when you like translate, this is what I mean. If you translate it into English, it doesn't make sense, right? If you want to do an idiom in a different language, you just have to email me separately and like explain it to me. I'm totally cool with that, obviously, but I just need to know what's going on. Okay, so here I have the Pixlr E video tutorial coming soon. That's this right now. I'm not going to demo anything in Pixlr because you guys will have done a couple Pixlr projects already. You'll understand what the program can do, and then you guys are going to be creating. It's up to you what you want it to look like. Like some students did this very simple cartoony style. Other students did, duct tape. Did see this digital painting. Not that you guys can do the digital painting, which is upsetting because I love digital painting, but you get the idea. You choose how you render it. Okay? And then, of course, you have the reflection questions. And there is no assignment 1. There's not going to be written questions. Like, there's not going to be as many. There will be some. Just check Google Classroom, but there's not going to be a ton. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. But you guys, this is a level 2 course, so you can kind of, at this point of the year, kind of take concepts and run with them. All right, any questions? Email. I'm here.